Dogman is a super popular comic series among kids. They're funny, super easy to read, written in the perspective of kids. These books have certainly helped my kids get into reading, but as a parent, I wanted to know what the heck is in these books? Why are my kids so drawn to them? What kind of messaging is in these books? And so today I will be reviewing Dogman, the very first book of this highly popular series. So I was pretty interested to read this first book because it never made sense to me. Why is there a dog's head on a human's body? And let me just say that it still doesn't make sense when you read it. It's so silly. They're like, oh, this dog's body is dying, so let's sew it on to this cop's body because the cop's head is dying. It's just so silly. And I also used to think that it wasn't just the dog's head. It looked like the dog's paws were also on the human's body, but that's not true. The drawings are just so kid-like in this comic book that the hands look like paws. So a lot of the humor in this book is from the drawings, which are just so funny. It looks like little kids drew them. And, the spelling is funny. The way they say things is funny. Like instead of saying super, they'll say supa. Every chapter is basically a new story, a new comic. So you get like 3 or 4 stories in one book. So it just keeps you engaged the whole time because something new is always happening. There are multiple scenes that have poop, um, just, like that kind of really like lowbrow kid humor that I might not really care about, but my kids think it's hysterical. There's nothing bad about this book. There's no bad messaging, there's no hidden agenda in this book. It's all just really set to entertain kids. Sometimes I think as parents, we want our kids to be reading good books. We want them to be reading books that, help them grow, make them think, be on grade level. But, sometimes it's just good for a kid to have an outlet. The fact that they want to read is something that we should be celebrating. And this is really one of those books where the kids just want to read it. There's no life lessons in it, there's no heavy concepts in it. You're not going to read this book and, start thinking of the world differently or anything like that. It's just a fun book to read. And I think that sometimes we overlook how important it is to just read a book and be entertained. I'm really glad that I ended up reading it, to see what my kids are enjoying. All right, so let's give this thing a quick rating. It's just an easy, fun book that kids enjoy, parents get through. The content is, the kind of humor a lot of kids enjoy, and there's really nothing wrong with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Tune in next time when my kids give their review of this book. I am actually interested to see how their age difference might affect their opinions of this book. So until next time, have a great day.